There's very few vehicles that get me excited in this era right now, where there's a lot of, weird hybrids and different things like that. But this is a Kia EV6, and it does get me excited. It's a full electric vehicle, and this particular one is the GT line, which is kind of like middle of the road. The Wind is the lower, right now they're going to change the names, but the Wind is the lowest one, and then the GT line, and then you have the GT, which is the fast one with more horsepower and all that stuff. But the Kia EV6 is so comfortable, fun to drive, accelerates fast. It has all the qualities of the Kia Hyundai Genesis lineup, with the computer systems here, the features, the comfort, the quality, all that stuff. Just a very impressive vehicle. It has in the GT line, it has the ambient lights at nighttime, looking fantastic. Check out these seats. Suede, heated, ventilated seats. Has the white accents there on the outside. See, the dash has a little bit of a design to it. Everything is functional, very functional and easy to use. You can switch from climate control to the radio controls there. There's the heated seat and heated steering wheel controls. Turn it on, it has the button to turn it on and off, and then it has the turn dial for the shifter. Wireless charger, cup holders, compartment here. Now there's a couple things that it really stands out. The ability to have the drive mode right here. Since it's an electric vehicle, there's a significant difference between drive modes. So you have sport, normal, and eco. Snow is a little bit different. You press and hold it, but it's still accessed here. But if you're driving an eco or normal and you need a little bit of extra power, especially if you're an eco, you can quickly go into sport mode with that button right there. It's so convenient having that. Another thing is these paddle shifters are not paddle shifters. They're regen adjustments, basically. And if you press and hold this right side, you can go into an automatic mode, and it shows you what mode you're in right here. And the automatic is really, really good. I really like using the automatic. But if you want to fine tune it yourself, you can change it using the paddle shifters. You can also use this left one here when you're driving and you're coming to a stop. You're coming to a stop. You can press and hold that, and it gives you maximum regen. It's just like pushing the brake. Basically, it'll actually come to a complete stop without holding the brakes. Now it is good. There's no like variableness to it. It's just like really heavy braking basically. But you're giving maximum regen. You're regenerating the battery. You're recharging the battery at the maximum amount. So if you get used to that, you can actually add to your miles while you're driving, and also just the coolness factor of using regen to slow the vehicle down. Another convenient thing is this camera button. Being right there, it's very easy to press it when you need it, and it is a fantastic camera system. So you can see that it gives you the top-down view. And right now it's showing the rear view. But when I put it in drive, now we have the forward view here. And now would be a good time to show off the turning radius because it turns on a dime. But you can see the lines in the parking lot here. They're stitched together nicely. They're straight lines, and you can definitely see right where you are in relationship to other things. But yeah, look how much of a turning circle this vehicle has. You can kind of get turned around very easily in tight spaces especially. But having this camera system is excellent. You can see right where you're at, and if you need to turn around or make any kind of adjustments, you can see right where you're at, and very easy to drive vehicle. Easy to turn the steering wheel, easy to do everything. It's just a smooth, comfortable ride overall. Now the camera system has different views here, so you can change that view top down, what we saw before, or you can see the side of the vehicle. So those are the rear wheels there. We can also have a view like this and kind of get our bearing, see what it basically look around the vehicle and see if there's anybody around us too, that kind of thing. We can also pull it up like this and kind of look around There's a little bit of stitching errors in this particular view, but still very useful. And then when we put it in drive, this view switches to the front, and then when we have the different views here, top down, the front view, and then this one, it shows the front wheels on the side of the vehicle. So now we can actually, I can turn the steering wheel so you can see, it shows the wheels kind of turning. You can see right where they are in relationship to the curb or wherever. Also, you have the active guidelines there as well. You have the option of the augmented reality heads-up display or the standard one like this. And I kind of prefer the standard one. I don't use the navigation much, so it doesn't really add much to have the augmented reality screen on. And also the standard one, it just kind of looks a little bit, I don't know, it just looks a bit better to my eyes. Anyway. Even when I change, like say through the whatever's playing on my phone, you can see it actually has the information on my phone and a little image. Now the image, sometimes it'll show a thumbnail, but right now it's just showing like a blank screen. But yeah, it has that information there on the heads-up display. If you choose to have it, you can select what you want up there and what you don't want up there. Up here we have some lights, LED lights here, and also the sunroof. So the sunroof has a shade that covers 100% of the light, and we can pull this back, the shade, with that button there. You just, and then it'll pull back that. If you gently press it, it'll just be the shade. All right, that's as far back as it goes there. We can also tilt it as well. All right, so let's go ahead and tilt it. There we go, tilt it up, get some airflow. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up and close the shade. So let's look at the visibility in the back. Lots of room back there, and then there's lots of visibility. There's some little windows there on the far pillars to help out when you're looking like this. But, you know, I mean, there is quite a bit of a stop in your visibility there in the rear pillars. And then the rear glass is kind of small, but you have the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, full parking sensors, camera system, all the, you know, the safety features that help you drive the vehicle safely. As far as visibility, I haven't had any problems with visibility really. And of course the camera, you know, leaning heavily on that camera because it does help out a lot. This one has the steel matte gray finish, and it is incredible. You can see that it's not a high gloss paint, it's like a matte paint, and it just looks really nice. It's like it looks like a steel, I guess you could say. Those black wheels and the black accents here on the front. Really nice headlight system, accent lights here. I mean, the headlights are kind of mediocre actually as far as visibility at night, but they look cool, and the accent lights look really nice too. Daytime running lights and all that stuff. And it has the handles that go flush into the door when you lock the doors or when you're driving. And the back end of the vehicle is pretty cool. It has that kind of swooping taillight design, all the LED, nice and sharp, very impressive. Has a spoiler there in the back. And I like the shape of the vehicle as well. You can see it has this contour to it. The back seats, you have lots of room overall, front, back, everywhere. So the back seats have lots of room. The floor is completely flat. There is a power inverter under here. That's really convenient to have on an electric vehicle especially. There's also USB ports here on the sides of the seats, kind of utilizing that space for the rear passengers. This one does have the sunroof. That's another GT Line feature. That's the inside of the back door. And you can see the lots of room here in the front. Really impressive. And the cargo area, let's go ahead and open it up here. Power lift gate. So the cargo area is excellent. You can fold these seats down really easy using these handles here on the sides here. And then under here is a, doesn't have a spare tire. That's the one thing here, but there's additional space under here. It has the tire mobility kit. There's also the ability to have a power it's like a power inverter that you connect to the charge port and use the main battery, as well as the one in the front seat there. There's little access holes here, and here on the right side. Charge port, when the vehicle's unlocked, you just press right there and it'll open up for you. And it does have some illumination, and there's the status bars here showing you the status of the estimated status of your battery percentage. It also has the ability to fast charge, so it has this plug in there for the DC charge port. But yeah, this is really easy to access. You can also hold, so if you have a charging timer or like a schedule set in the computer system, you can, if you want to just disregard that and just charge now, you can press that button and just go ahead and start charging, so it doesn't wait. So you can press that button to close it. And it's basically, when you open this up, you're basically pressing this cover into that button. You're pressing this little bump right here into that button and opening up the door. It does have a little cargo area here. Lift that up, and just a little tiny space. Really, you can put like a charge cable or something like that, or a tire removability kit or whatever in here, but it's not a lot of space, but it does give you something up here as well. There's also a light, which is nice. And then the 12-volt battery is right there, and it's fairly easy to get to. I like the way all the panels here are blacked out when the vehicle's off, and then when you get in the vehicle and start it up, everything basically lights up and illuminates, but that nice black, just nothing there, is looking pretty cool. Press the button here. There's a little animation on the heads-up display that pops up, and then you have everything comes to life. Now you can have these panels here blacked out here, or you can have it the light color, either way, or you can have it transition from day and the night, that way, the dark and light mode. Now you may notice a little sound, like electronic sound as you drive. This is kind of normal for hybrids and EVs and stuff. It's a little annoying to me, but I guess it's required by law to have some kind of noise outside the vehicle. That blind spot camera is another thing that pops up. When you put your turn signal on, it'll pop up on the appropriate side, showing you what's in your blind spot. You can see the right side as well. The acceleration is fantastic. This is the GT Line, which is not the high-end GT. So this is like half the horsepower as the GT, the high-end GT. But it's still fast. It's just like the Wind, basically, as far as the driving experience. The range is a little bit diminished in the GT Line just because you have the larger wheels. Other than that, it's basically the same driving experience. The smoothness of the ride is not diminished at all, as far as my experience having those larger wheels. They look good, and it seems to ride nicely. It's just an overall comfortable vehicle. You got the comfortable seats, comfortable ride, and fairly easy to get in and out of the vehicle. Plenty of room. Has the hatchback in the back, so you can put stuff in there easy. Plenty of room behind in the back seat. You know, like, this is just a really great vehicle. Not much of a front trunk, but you know, pluses and minuses, right? So the drive mode button right here on the steering wheel, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in sport. So yeah, got some really great acceleration in sport mode, but even in the normal drive mode, you have really good acceleration. So, you know, if you really need to punch it for whatever reason, the sport mode is right there, button away. And if you're just kind of cruising along like this, no problem, put it in eco mode, and you know, give you a little bit of extra range, and it gives you an idea of what the range will be if you, depending on your drive mode. So normal showing 185 miles, sport is 179, eco is 190. So it gives you just a rough estimate there. Now with the cruise control, you do have to turn it on, and then you set it, and then you can turn on the lane keep assist system. That works great. I mean, it keeps you in the lane And basically, I mean, you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel, but I mean, it doesn't really bug you about it. And that's great. Love that, that particular thing.